lady.
There we
All right.
are. We're live.
I think we're live. We live?
are.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Christ at the water cooler on a hot summer day at lunchtime. No, that's not what we're doing here. We're actually doing you can choose, but I like the name Conversations at the River, but I don't know. I was thinking Christ at the we're interviewing Lisa Lennon, everyone. She wrote a fantabulous book, Nothing Happening. And if you don't mind, Lisa, thank you for joining me today. And it's so good to meet you.
Yeah,
today.
you too. Thanks.
And thank you for helping me navigate the technological jungle out there so we could do this today. So I thought I would just read the review by Julie Rumbarger. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. So Julie says, she helped you edit the book. What a joy, what a labor of love it has been collaborating with Lisa on her second book, Nothing Happening. Not only does Lisa speak and point in a most straightforward and uncompromising way, I have seen firsthand, working side by side, that in daily living, she lives it. She lives this message. In her first book, There Is No One, Lisa shares from the heart the most poetic, nearly Cone-esque words one can read, the sweet side of the non-dual sword. Here in this text, the writing reveals the most deadly side of non-duality, which is a side that leaves nothing left but nothing happening, which is everything. This book, I feel, is intelligence itself, life revealing life to life. Julie Rumbarger.
Rather bold statement by her.
Right? Wow.
Because I'm just like, yeah.
Right? I was like, wait a minute. What?
I don't know.
It's
just tea, right?
When did that happen? So this is going to be the easiest interview ever because we're not going to say anything. It takes the pressure off.
Yeah. Well, I was just hoping that you'd just do all the talking.
I know. Me too. I bought you look, I was so happy that this was going to happen. Apparently, it seems like that. I bought you a car this morning. I just had to do it. I know. It's a little extravagant to do something so crazy like that. But I bought you a car, and here it is. I think you'll love it. All right.
Oh, yes.
Hot Wheels.
Star Wars Hot Wheels. That's amazing.
Kyle Ren.
So I love Kyle Ren.
I thought you would. See, that's the non-dual dark side of it. You know.
Yeah, I love the baddie.
That's what she said, right? This is the most deadly side of non-duality. So I thought,
yes,
that's the perfect vehicle for you.
Yeah, it is.
You Kyle Ren messenger.
I love his face.
You know, you're taking that, that sword to the person and just going.
Yeah, well, I'm just not agreeing with them most of the time.
Right.
Because, people, there's all these stories come up and it's just like, well, where are they?
Yeah.
Where are these things that you believe to be so real?
Right.
Yeah. They're just, it's like, it's just not there.
It's very difficult to articulate that.
Yeah.
Or very easy at the same time.
Well, you can only fake it for so long before you're exposed. Well, I just don't know because it's not actually anybody talking.
Right. That's so true.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I would have. There's a few people that wanted to also talk with you, and I had a few people that were so excited about this. They wanted to, have a little chat with you. Me and my producer Harold, he's the one that produces these videos, and we argue a lot, and I usually delete them after a while. but he's always trying to, like, weigh in on stuff. His name's Harold. He's my producer. We have a love-hate relationship. I fired him several times, and then I bring him back, fire him, and we argue a lot. And but for some reason, we just feel this interconnection. This, like, we feel like we're not separate. It's no separation. So apparently, he's my ego. That's the thing. That. What would you say about this whole subject of ego? Because I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know what that is either. I would just call that sense of separation.
Yeah.
Operating from a sense of a delusion, a kind of illusory reality called I'm separate, that I would lump it all in the one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I get lost with that, or the sense here that, so I didn't ever have for in the story time. No, in the story, it seems like I've been in some kind of a spiritual world or whatever, and I've never met ego in that, but it became, in recent years, it became quite an important discussion in some circles, it seemed like, which was not mine, but it's just like it comes up, and sometimes I find myself using it a little, and then not really knowing why, because it's for me, it's not a thing, but it's very important in some spiritual conversation, it seems like. And I feel like it's like there's a sense of trying to, um, I guess, like, if we do away with the ego, if we can do away with that terrible thing, the ego, then we'll be more in tune with the peace and love that we are, or something. And I've never been able to really grasp that. And yeah.
Which part in particular?
I just draw a blank on it.
Yeah, because it's all a story.
Yeah.
Anyway, because nobody has an ego.
Yeah. Harold's really upset now.
Is Harold a cat?
Okay, I think Harold does want to talk to you now because he's really upset. Uh-oh. Hang on. I'm going to get Harold. Harold's going to come and talk to you because you just said he's not a thing. So, and I've been saying it to him for a while, so he's real upset. So, if you can hang on a second, I'm going to go get Harold for a second. And while I get Harold, maybe you can think about this beautiful book, Nothing Happening.
Which I didn't write.
Well, you said something about, remember, which no one wrote. And you said something about resistance is futile. So hold on to that. Remember Star Trek, the Borg, resistance
I can't remember what context it was in, I'm afraid.
Oh, let's see. I
don't remember one thing I wrote, Corey.
Right? Exactly.
I don't even remember what I said a minute ago.
Well, you said something along the line that we're already assimilated, so resistance is futile. Yeah. So you can think on that while I get Harold.
Okay. Oh. I think this means someone's going to have an argument with me about the ego. Or unless Harold's a cat, of course.
All right, now listen, I feel real. That's what I'm saying.
I just didn't know what to expect. Anyway, hi, Harold. How are you?
Well, I'm a little offended.
You offended? Okay.
Well, I have quite a story going on. Okay. I've been dealing with this character, Corey, for a lot of years. Okay. And he's a good guy. But the thing is that he's trying to always just like he's acting like I'm not here and stuff. And then you reinforce this thing. And I'm not happy. I'm not happy about it, Lisa. Mm-mm.
Well, both you and Corey are both illusory anyway. Neither of you exist.
What? Oh,
As persons, you're just.
total.
Yeah, I know. I want to get in it.
Driving
Like,
a Kylo Ren car, you just
drive off somewhere really crazy. With Kylo Ren, because I quite fancy Kylo Ren.
I'm so trying to say something to that through the tears and the years. You haven't had my journey. What? It's your
as my daughter would say, cool story, bro.
All right. I see. I see. I'll have to take this up with Corey later, and we'll have to duke it out.
Yeah, you can have your little dream conversation later on, which won't happen.
Oh, Corey told me this would be a mistake. I knew it. I knew it. All right. I want to go get your.
Yeah, bring it back.
You got that whatever over there.
You. I'm actually glad that wasn't actually somebody else called Harold. Corey might watch this later and see me sneakily speaking.
Hi, I'm Mortimer Snerd. I'm a friend of Corey. I'm a non-dual expert, actually. My name's Mortimer Snerd. Yeah, I did want to talk to her, too. Gotta give me a chance. So, Lisa.
I think you have some sort of multiple personality disorder.
Lisa, there's nothing happening, Lisa.
That's right.
No, I know it's not community coffee. I'm sorry, Corey. All right. But Lisa, let me ask you, what do you think of all these speakers? What do you think of what appears to be happening here around the world?
Well, I don't think there's that many. I can count like 5 who I'd actually listen to. Nice face there. Face yoga.
Yes, I just feel, it seems as if nothing, there's just blank nothing. I would usually use the F word here, but Harold, the producer, told me not to use it. So, it's just nothing.
Well,
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but what's that?
Look, don't show me up. I'm the expert. Okay. Well, you do it, Lisa, and maybe we can, Snapchat or something sometime. I'll see
No,
you. All right.
sorry, no.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you're back.
Harold did a terrible job. This was supposed to be a lot faster and everything. You can see why I fire him half the time.
Yeah, and your friend's a bit strange as well. He has to Snapchat me, but I said no.
Yeah, my ears were burning when I heard him say that. That was ridiculous. So resistance is futile. I will actually scroll through the book and see if I can see where I marked that. But so I've enjoyed Star Trek quite a bit over the years, and you talked about being assimilated. We've already been assimilated, so to
yes. This is total assimilation. Like this is it. It's already done. It's already done.
Yeah. So you say here in experiences, you say really it's what's happening. That's the freedom. The freedom is not what the seeker thinks it is. The freedom is freedom from the seeker.
Yes.
It's freedom from seeking. It's
Yep.
the absolute end of everything. There's nothing left, only what is. What is left can't be described because it is. Any movement, any appearance is what it is. It simply is. But I love that freedom from seeking.
Yes, it is freedom from seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even though seeking is freedom appearing as seeking, but paradoxically, it is freedom from seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Seeking is suffering. And seeking can appear in all forms, even like trying to find a, Kylo Ren car and thinking, oh, once I get my Kylo Ren car, I will be like, I'll be there. I'll be there. 10 minutes down the road, someone throws a Coke can at it, scratch the end of that dream. And, it's always like the dream of completion. It's this idea of completion as a dream that is somewhere else, but what is.
Mm-hmm.
So you never get there.
Yeah.
Because it's not real.
Yeah.
And that's suffering. That is the suffering.
Yeah.
Torture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It never feels enough. Nothing ever feels enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're about to have a lot of banging. It's the day of Jesus here today. So everybody's marching. But I hear he's having like some. When you told me that, I completely forgot what it says, and someone said, "What's it going to be called?" And I said, "It's going to be like Jesus on a fag break or something."
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Jesus by the water cooler with all his water.
You have a Jesus.
All his cooler disciples.
Yeah. Because you have a Jesus background, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
don't.
sense sometimes there arises a sense of some non-dual sayings there.
Yes, I think Tony quotes sayings of Jesus as well.
Well, I love what he said about it one time. Actually, he said something along the line. Oh yeah, yeah. they're like, well, what did Jesus mean there? And he's like, I don't know. I can't pick up the phone and call him and ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Yeah.
seems like, that it resonates here for this in
Yeah.
this. And other than that,
I've never read the Bible, so I have no idea.
mm,
Yeah. And if I
yeah,
did,
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's well, there's a sense of, so what the brain does or the mind does is it creates a sense of continuity. One of the magic factors of the Bible, the magician part of it, is the sense of continuity that's constructed into it. So um, there's various levels of that, to where some people just whatever, ride the wave of the religion, and then there's some that research and go deep, and you can get lost there, because there is such a endless connection of energy between what appears to be different generations, people in different locations, different cultures, all kind of saying the same thing, and pointing to the same thing, which is sort of a messianic thing. Um, and so uh, you can get lost there with all kinds of interesting metaphor and typology, which is usually a mystical level that pretty much blows most of the Orthodox out of the water. And
Yeah, because Orthodox is the ultimate seeking, isn't it? Religion really is
yeah,
the ultimate seeking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But so one of the ways I got out of Christianity was, after reading the Bible for years and years and years, actually going deeper into a real research mode, to where I was going to understand as much as I could about the original intent in the words. And the deeper I got, the more the Orthodox and or even mystical part of it began to fade away, and I began to realize that um, it doesn't hold weight. But it's a it's what's fascinating is that a lot of times it's discounted as just a bunch of rubbish, religious rubbish, and on the energetic level, at some sense of some point, in the story, it wasn't rubbish for whatever expression came forward. It's just that there was a lot of doctoring up of it, in third century and so on and so forth in the story. So um, that's a fascinating part. So the other dilemma that occurs for the mystics, or those that are really interested in getting to the core and the root, one of the dilemmas is being able to let it go, because it is kind of like a bottomless pit, and of trying to explain it to those who have uh, gotten stuck in a religious vibe that is completely orthodox, sort of. And so there's a constant explaining, a constant seeking there, where you're constantly explaining, no, but it really means this, but it really means this, but it really means this. And it's just on and on and on and on and on and on and on into the just circle. It really means this. And besides, I studied for years, or there are people that spend a lifetime studying things, and to no avail. So,
Well, really, it's all life anyway.
yeah,
It's all the same thing.
yeah, yeah.
There are no separate individuals. It's just one amalgamation of this aliveness appearing as religions and mystics and all this. And this is mystical. This is a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
To the human, it's like, well, to the person, this is not mystical. But really, it's like, isn't it really obviously mystical?
Yeah, yeah,
Why is there a
yeah,
table in this room? Why is there a room?
yeah,
Why is there a voice happening? To
yeah.
me, it's just like, I find that fascinating. I find it fascinating that there's space light. I mean, that's just like crazy. And
Yeah.
yet they're all looking in all these concepts for something mystical, when the mystical, the magic is here.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's even here at all. What?
It's astonishing.
Astonishing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it is.
No.
I love that. I don't want
Yeah.
to know what it's not. There's no, well, all that fell away. The wanting to know just left as well. It's just a kind of a,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, like a
amazing.
child
Oh,
doesn't. A
like
child
a
doesn't
child. Yeah. Oh, look, glasses.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of glasses, I want to ask you which glasses you like better.
Okay.
I just want to get your fashion. I want to see if you have a fashion sense.
I'll
So
try.
these,
Okay.
and how about these? Just asking, because I don't know, something's not right with these. But what do you think?
First pair.
Yeah, because this one doesn't have a lens.
They're less flattering.
Okay, good. You passed the test. I don't know. See, we don't know why anything happens. See.
No. Well, you look like a kind of New York cop with the black ones, which is kind of, it's a kind of
Yeah, the
sexy.
black ones are good, but actually that's also missing a lens. Yeah, I like the black ones. That's maybe the other ones got embarrassed with the black ones. The lens popped out and ran away. So yeah, so I like it's very so it's a what's difficult. So I've navigated some of the I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying there seems to be some energetic conversation out there to where it is sort of difficult to stomach, and there's a sense of a non-dual discussion that says that that we are I am, and it seems like a real personal affront to suggest that
I am. That
there's
you were not, and I am.
no, but I mean about sort of a different strain of non-dualism that's a little
Oh,
bit.
that's not non-dualism.
Yeah.
Or non-duality,
Pretend.
rather.
It's
Whatever
pretend
the word. I mean, I
non-dualism.
don't really like the word non-duality anymore.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
kind of gets a bit sort of like just bandied around,
yeah,
Because
yeah,
non-duality is non-duality. Nothing's dual. There's only one. There's only
yeah,
one. There can't be one, and I am. That just doesn't.
yeah,
And the I am dies anyway. It dies,
yeah,
whether in physical life or physical death. It's just going to
yeah.
die because it's not real. It's just like so.
Well, I heard a speaker just say basically what he did is he tried to uh, say that an illusion has to have, in order for there to be an illusion, there has to be reality, and which is an interesting way of putting it. And then he went all the way down to awareness, and he basically felt like he proved that all is awareness, and by deconstruct. Yeah, I mean, I've talked to the couch many times, and it just is not aware.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dream on, buddy.
I haven't talked to the couch after that
Awareness.
display. I should not say I'm talking to couches after that display.
Everyone's used to you, Corey.
I'll send you a Star Wars car in the mail, and then and all of a sudden I'll have people with straight jackets show up. Oh yes, are you that YouTuber guy? Please come with us.
Yeah. Well, I love any kind of like sci-fi fan merchandise. I'm very easily pleased
Nice.
in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So okay. So awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Where is it? Just goes on in the head.
Yeah.
Just goes on in the head.
Yeah.
It's like is that an ultimate reality, like something that goes on in the head, and whoever can then maintain it?
Mm-hmm.
Can't maintain that because it's like a kind of a you got to hold on to it. I had a little go at that awareness thing a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as I started looking at it, I was like, well, it's still me.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like disassociated.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of a cold me.
Yeah.
Then you got to be like, and then
Then
you've
you
got
have to
to.
somehow get there, which is
You can get there, but you can get there. You can get anywhere in your imagination if you like try
exactly.
really hard. You
Yeah.
know, you can even make yourself think your name's Harold.
That's right.
Yeah, and the
You know
second one,
that?
the weird guy. What was his name?
Mortimer Schnurd.
Mortimer Schnurd. Yeah, Schnurd kind of suits him really.
That name comes from my dad. My dad, I don't know, my dad, I heard him say that one time referring
Oh,
to
I thought
me.
you were going to say his name was Schnurd. And I was like, oh my God, I've really insulted Corey's dad now.
No, my dad's name is Corb Clemens. No, but he's for whatever reason, he was my dad, with his weird sense of humor, said something about, yeah, his name's Mortimer years ago, Mortimer Schnurd. And like, that kind of works.
You say Schnurd, your mouth has to go into the Mortimer
Schnurd.
Schnurd kind
That's
of.
right. That's where the mouth just,
Yeah.
it's like, more, nothing. There's nothing. It's just nothing.
Glad he doesn't come to my talks. It's just like, what the hell?
So I underlined so many things in here, and I haven't finished it. So we'll go through maybe a couple things if you're still okay. How are you doing on time?
Oh, yeah, just whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is
So
easy.
not all right. Story. Non-duality cannot be related to the speaker. It's just not possible.
Yes, right? Do you want me to qualify that?
Well, whatever you want. I mean, whatever happens, I don't care.
Yeah, it's because there is no person. I don't mean personally in this body, I mean anywhere. Sounds happen in aliveness.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently hearing happens, but hearing doesn't really happen. Hearing is just another overlay. I'm hearing, but there isn't. There's just sound happening.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
There's nothing in this speaker that is anything that any other human has or doesn't have.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's just the body at a table.
I really enjoy the shift. Yeah, let's talk about the shift. So there appears to be a moment when the feeling of being as someone seems to drop. This is not an intellectual happening. It's like a release from the prison of going from a contracted sense of being a me to it being seen that it's always this. There seems to be a period or process of leading up to that time. Let me see. Hang on. The shift does not really take place. It's an appearance. There are
Yeah.
no rules. Um, and let's see. I thought I was in some sort of dead limbo land. It was very strong. I'm calling it energetic because it's not like an understanding. It's not understood. It's no me that knows it. So there was. I was talking to even someone yesterday about it a little bit, but there's a couple of seeming. It's oh man, that's why speechlessness comes immediately. There's kind of a seeming something where all of a sudden there is sort of kind of a sense of this, and then but that's not possible, for the me. So it's like I just I was talking to somebody about things that I felt happened here, and so when I read that, I was like, aha, huh. It's like, oh, I wasn't totally in the dark, on what was being expressed there. But do you want to weigh in more on that?
Yeah. Well, really, that happening is really no different now from watching Star Wars. But it's the
Right.
story everybody wants to hear. They want to hear that story. But the thing
Yeah.
is that that apparent happening is different for each human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it's just something that seems to happen. But actually, I was talking with a friend a week ago, and I actually had a cognitive light bulb come on about what had seemed to have happened at that point and
Mm,
why it was so confusing for this body mind.
mm,
Because along with the sense of being separate, being somebody called Lisa, who was running around like a lunatic all the time,
mm, mhm,
there
mhm,
was also this sense of that this was set in time and space. You know, this room is set in Spain on a continent, on a planet, in the Milky Way,
mm,
in the vast universe, and it
mm.
was all set. And I knew that that's how it is. That went as well.
Mm.
That was set in time. It had a place in
Right.
time.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that totally collapsed as well. Yeah.
Mm.
So, you know, the body mind was kind of a bit screwed for a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So yeah. So that's why I because there's that seeming conversation in some of the non-dual speakers, I guess, whatever, where there's a conversation. Well, it seems like there was this collapse, but of course there wasn't, because that can't happen, back and forth. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I see what you're saying. So it seemed like something that happened in some space
Yeah,
time.
it's a bit like saying I went to school once, apparently. But I
Yeah.
didn't. But I didn't, because everything is just here. Everything is
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So that whole episode of apparently know me is in this. It didn't happen in time. It didn't happen in
Yeah.
time. It's here. It's here. It's this.
Hmm. Right. It's not like it's trying to do anything.
No, it's just
Right.
this. Having
It's not like it's trying to. You
a
need to
story.
collapse. Collapse. Would you collapse? Collapse. It's like no, no need. It's like
Well, you know, I woke up
there's
and
no.
it was gone. I
It's,
went to bed one night and I woke up and it was gone. So I sometimes joke and say I died in my sleep.
yeah.
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 But it wasn't all this bliss and peace and stuff that everybody, you know, talks about. Bliss and peace. It was more like I'm not gonna swear on your channel. It was like, oh hell, what the hell?
Maybe like a blackout. That's a word that arises. Blackout.
It was just me pacing around my flat, wondering if my body was dead somewhere, and I couldn't remember. It was like
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. Yeah.
Mm.
And then ringing Tony and going, "Am I dead? Are you real?"
Yeah.
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 It was like more like that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have had all kinds of interesting phenomenon. It seems like.
Yeah, it was an interesting phenomenon that didn't actually ever happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Like one time, I felt like I was looking at my body from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But anyway, recently I was at work, and I don't know, but it was like everything stopped. But you really can't do that at work, so I had to pull out of
Yeah.
that and keep working.
Yeah. Well, what happens? What happens is that as the sense of I'm a reality in time and space seems to kind of drift away or collapse suddenly, whatever, it takes a little while for the brain. So there might be like this kind of moments, you know,
Yeah,
where things just aren't quite working as they should. Yeah.
yeah,
Because in a way, the mind has to rewire to the new. You know, it's not chugging along like it used to for God knows how many years. Suddenly, like that's gone. It's just like, well, how do I walk? I had to learn to walk outside again. Couldn't walk properly
mm,
because there was suddenly no sense of perspective. The sense of location was suddenly gone. So,
Yeah,
tripping over
yeah,
pavement and things like that. And that
yeah,
sense of location never came back. It's just the body just adjusted to it, that's
yeah.
all.
Did you see the? Did you ever see Jim Carrey uh, some years ago talking about coming into an awareness of being everything? And I guess he was at an Eckhart Tolle meeting, and
I
he's
didn't
like,
see that, no.
"Oh, he's at an Eckhart Tolle meeting, but this is some years ago." So, but I think it was when he began to. I think Eckhart Tolle was or is kind of a mentor, and he's there talking, and he's like talking about all of a sudden I saw that I'm all this, and there's no, this is everything that we're everything, blah blah, whatever. So he's
Yeah,
talking about it, and then he says, and you feel like he does, how he is. You feel like that he's going to that he's going to say something profound, and he says, and so ever since that happened, and you think, oh, something profound's coming. He said, I've been trying to get back there,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so common. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
common.
yeah.
Like pretty much most people I speak to, privately, same story.
Yeah,
As if as if there is a back, as if something happened.
yeah,
So I have to spend my time dispelling these stories that there is no back, there was no glimpse. The
right,
glimpse was this. The trying to
right,
get back to it is this. The
right.
story of the glimpse is this. It's all happening. Poof.
Yeah,
It's always landing
yeah,
all at once.
yeah.
The
And a
whole
lot
of
of
this.
times, whatever those phenomenons are, they certainly are not being looked for. And not to say that they wouldn't necessarily seem to happen if they're being looked for, but you miss so much whenever you're looking. So because everything is this, and so there's so many, and this is a miracle that's
Yes.
indescribable. And I mean, uh who wants it to be anything else,
No, I don't get it.
I mean, oh, only in the story, in the story, understanding is very it,
Yeah. Yeah,
in our
the table is
experience.
amazing.
Yeah,
The table is amazing. I mean, wow, look at it. Why would you want anything else? I just don't understand anymore. But I remember that feeling of incompleteness,
yeah, yeah,
that I'm not enough. It's not enough. I need to get there. I need to get there. I need to find enlightenment,
yeah, yeah,
for God's sake. And it's all a dream.
yeah. What you say in your book is no enlightenment.
No.
Yeah, which
Nobody's
is
not enlightened and nobody is enlightened. It's just the
no,
one field, the one force.
yeah, yeah. The one force. The
Yeah, it's
one force.
the
Did you
one.
see the last movie with Luke Skywalker?
Is that the one about Han Solo?
Okay, I saw Han Solo with a friend a couple days ago, but there's one before that with Luke
No, I haven't
Skywalker.
seen that one yet.
Oh, you need to.
Yes, I mean, I haven't
I
liked
don't
some
know.
of the newer Star Wars. I think they're a bit rubbish, some of them.
Well, no, exactly. And this is why I think you might enjoy this one, because it actually is a deeper discussion of the force that normally I'm actually more of a Trekkie,
So am
but
I.
you're a Trekkie?
Yes.
Woo!
People say Star Trek or Star Wars. Like, Star Trek, of course.
You said that perfect.
For a start, Star Trek is science fiction. Star Wars is science fantasy. There's a distinct difference.
Yes, indeed.
Put that
Well,
in there.
I
Biggest
think
life
we might
job.
be able to be friends after you saying that.
I'm more like reminiscent about Star Wars because obviously it came out when I was a kid and I
Yeah,
loved it. And I had that reminiscence of Star Wars, but I'm a Trekkie, and I've been to some Trekkie conventions as well. So
Yeah.
I've never
Well,
been to
I don't know how much of this is a made-up story in my head. However, trying to be somewhat observant, um, a lot of avid Star Wars fans were unhappy with this one because it was more Star Trekky, cerebral,
Oh,
and
really?
it also explored the Force as being non-dual, even though they'd never used the word. But it
Yes.
actually showed how the Force is interconnected in all extremes. So it wasn't just a good side and a bad side. And I felt like some of the fans didn't like it. Again, that might be just my head, but it
There
seems
was
like
the
with
flashing of lightsabers.
with the feedback, I felt like some people were like, "Hey, there's just got to be a dark side and a light side here.
Yeah,
There's
they like
just
that.
why are we putting it all together as one thing? That's crazy."
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll try and find some sort of dodgy stream and have a look at it.
Yeah, you might enjoy
Ended
it.
up in the mountains. There's no cinemas here.
Mm, mm.
And if there are, they're in Spanish.
We have one real close. It is it's very comfortable. They have seats that go out,
Oh,
but
very nice.
yeah, you can eat and all that stuff.
Great.
But well, I had a thought arise and then it left, so I'll let it go. That was along something we were saying here.
We got distracted by Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I could easily talk for hours about science fiction as much as I could about non-duality.
There you go.
I don't think anybody wants to hear about science fiction.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's just it seems like there's just so many things that open up even within the dream. So to where, this table now becomes as living as this sense of a person or a body or an animal person or whatever we are, where everything is vibrant,
It's alive.
energetic,
It's
yeah,
alive.
and aliveness, which is
Yes,
the word
it's
you use
alive.
here.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely
aliveness is a great
vibrant.
word.
Absolutely vibrant.
Yeah,
It's like a constant song,
yeah, yeah,
singing, life,
yeah.
everything.
Very,
Tables, sun, dog poo, annoying neighbors. The whole thing is this
yeah,
like song, just
yeah,
singing life, life, life. But it's just an absolute mystery and a wonder.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
sufficient for the human when the seeker is not there. In fact, that's here that is so beautiful. It's just so stunningly beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I use the word "I" all the time, and
Well, yes, we have to talk to each other. So
yeah,
yes, of course, of
yeah.
course.
Um,
After this, we'll probably be talking about like. I mean, humans talk normally to each other. It's not as if like suddenly says to me, "How are you?" and I'll be like, "There is no you." Just normal. Like Lisa's just really normal. I'll just
yeah,
talk about whatever. You know,
yeah,
just normal. There's no difference.
right,
Like my parents can see a difference, but they don't know what it is
right,
because I
exactly.
haven't talked to them about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems to be a following away of a lot of constructs, but
Yes, well,
that,
it's actually a really strong construct. It's so strong that it's an apparent separate reality, which isn't a separate reality, but
yeah,
it appears as a separate reality, and it's absolutely enclosed. And you can't have one or the other. You can't have both.
yeah,
It's either that apparent reality where I'm me, I'm stuck, I'm this, I'm that, and then nothing. Well, none of that. What is left when that's not there is just sitting at a table.
Yeah.
You can't see what that is.
What we're all looking for is like this.
Yes.
We're like,
All we're looking for is this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
oh,
It's like, oh my God, it's like it's this.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, mystery solved, that it's
But
not solved.
that apparent reality of the me can't help but that story will just click back in again.
Yeah.
But what about? But what about? But.
Yeah.
But because it can't help it, because that is it's hermetically sealed.
Yeah.
What seems to happen is the human, not the me, the human just goes, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems, and I don't know a lot of the actual history of it, but it seems that language itself was has its roots in separated consciousness, and a sense of I'm this and that's out there. And so it feels like it's nearly impossible to integrate language into this, because language,
Yes and no. I mean, really, there is no language does that, but it's actually absolutely complete. It's still this.
mhm,
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm speaking about this.
mhm.
There's absolutely no functional purpose to it whatsoever. Because nothing's going on.
Great. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. It's just really, if you've got to put it into a description why I'm sitting here talking about sitting at a table, is love in the end.
Mhm,
Because I love it. Because it's love.
mhm.
And I'm fascinated with it.
Right.
That's it. I'm not here to help people.
Mhm, mhm. Because they don't need help.
No, they don't. They're already perfect.
That's right. Nobody needs any
No,
help.
no, they're just perfect. And
Is
also,
that mm,
there's the paradox that I point to the illusion of the suffering self as well, but not to help them.
yeah, yeah,
It's clear. It's just obvious here. It's just clear
yeah.
that that's not real. It's just not real.
Hmm.
And sometimes it does help the human. The human will go. The human will suffer less. That can happen. You
Hmm.
know, I've been speaking with some people for quite a while, and with on the Skype calls, and I know a few people now who are really not suffering in that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And when suffering does happen, upset, annoyance, and all the rest of the human things that go on
Hmm.
in life,
Hmm.
it's totally fine for it to be there.
Hmm.
Because it's the flow of life happening, and they're just like, and they tell me that sometimes they sit back and just kind of smile at it. It's just like, oh God, yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. I made a comment at one point to someone, and there. So I said I haven't suffered since such and such time, but this person knew details about my life that apparently was suffering. So,
Oh, okay.
uh,
They saw that as suffering, not just like shit happening.
well, yeah, I mean, so basically, I stepped out of the personalizing it, I guess you could say. Like, so it's not personal. It's not a personal thing. I don't take anything personal, and
Yeah.
I don't dish anything personal out. So in a personal way, that there hasn't been suffering, but in the story, there's a sense of suffering that arises, and so this person responded, who's supposedly a non-dual expert, uh, whatever that means. Basically said, "Yeah, you're delusional. What do you mean you haven't suffered?"
Sounds like they're
well, I apparently
trolling you,
I
actually.
described that very well, but yeah.
Yeah, that's more like a troll.
Yeah, a troll. Um, so apparently I need to drink this coffee because I feel like there's things that just that come and go here. Stop.
Never stops, does it? Never stops.
Never stops. Like I realized, oh yeah, I wanted to that wanted to be mentioned, and then so maybe if I look at your book, it'll ring a bell again. I thought,
I need to get a copy. I don't have a copy of my own book.
yeah. Well, oh, love, yeah, love. Oh, here it is. Resistance and few. Oh, well, love. Ah, Star Trek. Thank you. Star Trek
My
always
favorite,
prevails.
Locutus of Borg is my favorite episode of all time.
Yeah, that's good. It's really good. That's
It
really good
is.
stuff. Yeah.
Captain Picard is like very kind of attractive as Locutus of Borg for some reason.
You look good with stuff sticking out of your eye.
Great. They're great.
Okay, so the greatest love, actually, your chapter, the greatest love. So you are never going to get this. No one's ever going to get this. The one trying to get this is this. That's why it can't be God. And
Yeah.
here it is, Star Trek, the Borg episode. The one that's trying to get it is an illusion. It's an appearance, an apparition, but it appears. It's appearing within this. It's appearing as this. Searching for what is utterly futile. I've just been watching Star Trek, the Borg episode, when the captain says, "Resistance is futile." Something like
That's pretty
that. Well, seeking is futile.
good.
You are already assimilated. It's already everything.
Yeah, it's done.
It's also all inclusive. So this energy's always had an inclusive vibe. So that's something that was always energetically here, regardless of what was happening up in the head as either real or unreal,
Yeah.
And but I've always been an inclusive energy,
Yes.
and where I've always wanted, I always love when people can come together. That's why the title "Conversations at the River" I really like, because I always like the sense of a coming together without any construct of what that has to mean. And I've always liked that, uh, in all, you know, in all situations. But I wanted to also ask you, unless you want to weigh in on that a little bit.
It's your character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wanted to. So, would you attempt to describe this phrase? So, I don't. You may have seen a mention of it before, but the phrase "real and unreal." I was told by someone that is judgment to say that. That's like judging the world, which almost made me puke when I heard it coined that way. But that's just the character. But so real and unreal. When you say real and unreal, when Parsons says real and unreal, when whoever says real and unreal, what do you feel like is attempted to be described there, and why is that? Why would that be judgment, or why would that?
I can't. My brain can't even go to why that would be judgment. It's a futile attempt to try and say this is beyond description.
Mm-hmm.
It's neither really real, and it's neither not real, because it appears, but not in the way the construct of the person thinks it's real.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like for the person, it's set in time. Here's my past. Here's now, and here's the future, and it's all set nicely laid out,
mm-hmm.
and it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very involved in it, and everything happens and says something about me.
Yeah.
So it feels real.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, it appears. This table is here. It's definitely here. Funnily, actually, people keep asking me, why do I call it an illusion? And I've never said that. I've never said this is an illusion. This is beyond the idea of illusion. The person is illusory because it's not actually who the human is.
Right.
And it can go. So that's how real the person is. Not real at all. Yeah. But the unreal bit is, just give me a second. I have to wait for the words to come.
Sure. No rush.
Thanks. It's not steady. It's got no ground. It's always moving and changing. But it's the same energy moving and changing.
Yeah.
Later I'll close the computer and the energy would have changed into a closed computer. And then I'll turn around and go to the kitchen, more than likely, because I love being in the kitchen. And the energy will have morphed into the kitchen. And everything is just constantly remorphing. I don't really know how to, because this is just in words, but it's the closest way to say, but it's not real because it has no reality in place and time. These are reality in place and time is a brain function so that the human can function as the human.
Yeah.
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 But it doesn't need that. It doesn't need that as a reality. The human can still function without that being a reality.
Yeah.
This human still functions, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, maybe not like before, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's great. And so the real and unreal is like, do you see what I'm saying? It's neither real. It's neither real or neither unreal.
Yeah.
And it's real and unreal, but it's neither. It's just literally sitting at a table.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Right.
You can't say what that is. The only thing that says what that is a story going on in the head, which is set in the absolute believed construct of place and time, me, da 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 da.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if that's a judgment, then he's made a massive mental leap to I don't know where.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. There was a need for that. For that individual person.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
There was a need to do that, to characterize that as judgment, and
he wants to fit it into his paradigm.
Yeah, to say that it's all real. It's all real. It has to be real. It's real, and so even the use. But see, this is the energy here, which the conversation at the river, or the conversation where this energy here feels like word games are not fun anymore, because that's what religion does quite often.
Yes.
They play the word games, and so I instinctively know that anybody who referenced real and unreal was not in some kind of idea of a place of judgment, and yet that was sold hook, line, and sinker to a few folks through this person, apparently, seems like. And yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, well, can't please them all.
What's that? Oh yeah,
Can't
no,
please
yeah,
them
no,
all.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
one of my best friends, he lives in Berlin. He thinks what I talk about is an absolute load of nonsense, but I love him for that.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. At the river, it's okay, so to
I don't know
speak.
what you're talking about. It's all woo, he says. Calls it woo. It's all woo.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, and I love that, because he's honest, but he's not fitting it. I don't know why. Anyway, that's just what he says. But it sounds like this person is fitting it into his paradigm because he's got, a lot of humans. Most humans have the personhood on,
yeah,
hood on,
yeah.
and everything lives within that reality. Everything has to fit within that perceived reality.
Well, the same words were discussed in terms of um, that you can't tell people that. Basically, it was like it's just nuts to say that. In fact, in private conversation, he was saying, actually, I know I get it, but you just can't tell people that. He says that's like taking your pants off and saying, "Hey, look at this." That's what exactly what he said.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And you can't. He says you can't do that. You can't say those things to people and blah. Anyway, so it was a very strong uh, concern for him, apparently. So
Yeah, well, you can do what you want. Doesn't matter,
yeah,
If I cared what other people thought about what I said, I'd be in a right pickle.
right,
I've been doing this for nearly 3 years, and it's like you can't care about what people think.
right,
You just dig yourself a pit, want to go and bury yourself in it.
right. Well, I was more coming from the point of just hearing your sense on it because this is an interview, apparently.
Oh, is it?
I guess this is an interview, ladies and gentlemen. This is an interview of we're interviewing Lisa Lennon today, and apparently, and regarding her
Oh,
book.
which I never wrote.
Nothing. She never wrote it, and there's nothing in it.
No.
So it's called Nothing Happening. Lisa Lennon, edited by Julie Rumbarger,
Yes, lovely Julie, who
and
is an awesome, awesome person.
so yeah, yeah. So it's a really enjoyable, relaxing read. It's a really nice read, and appreciate you doing that.
I think you can dip in and out of it as well. It's not linear. You can kind of
Right,
just dip in and out of it. And it
right.
is in parts. It is in parts. I think the last section we split into almost like a journey. That was Julie's idea actually.
Hmm,
She got all the bits. She said, "Well, why don't we arrange them like this?" She's such a good editor, Julie. She's very creative, and
hmm.
I can't remember what the flow was, but it was more almost like, yeah, we go deep into the suffering part, and then you come out with the home part at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't
Suffering
know.
issue comes up often especially with the seeker.
Well, suffering is like most people who come to me are suffering
Yeah,
with seeking normally. They've
yeah.
come to the end, they've tried religion, they've tried
Hmm,
Kylo Ray's car, they've tried relationships, they've tried everything. They've tried awareness teaching, spirituality, all of that.
hmm.
And nothing has ever worked.
Yeah,
This is kind of the end of the line in a
yeah.
way.
It's kind of just okay. Drop the whole load.
Or they
I
can't. I just have to just like I just have to keep pulling the rug from underneath their conceptual feet.
right. I sort of saw a metaphoric thing where it's like, um, so if you take a hike somewhere and you have a backpack and you've got these things to help you survive, I kind of saw it as almost like taking the pack off and
Well, it's more
just
like
like, huh?
No, so it's more like the pack suddenly just disappears because it was never real.
Yeah.
That you were never carrying it ever anyway.
And it's sort of like, yeah, it's no more survival. There's just,
Yeah.
it's sort of like a death of the hiker. You know, the hiker disappears, the pack
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah. Well, the body keeps walking up the hill, hiking.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not. It's not. It's not. Hasn't got like. It hasn't got that heavy load on it anymore.
Right, right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
see it
because
happening a lot. I see those backpacks popping out of existence all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a heavy load,
Yeah.
and what I felt like was happening in my sense of the whole Christ journey was that there was an end even to that, to where there's supposedly, who knows if it was translated correctly or not, but it seems like it could be a possibility where there was a statement made, my yoke is easy and my burden is light, which was basically saying, you know, that the oppressiveness of society, religion, the government, that I don't carry those things. I don't carry this. I don't carry the weight of
Oh,
the government,
I
the
get
weight of
you.
religion. Yeah. Um, However, when I don't know if the translation is right or not, it's been a while, but it's something. My yoke is, my burden is light. I feel like with this, it goes beyond a light burden to where there is no burden at all.
Yes.
Not even light,
This is not.
not
This
even
is
a
not
light
about
one.
self-improvement.
Yeah,
This is not self-help or self-improvement.
yeah,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things at
yeah,
all. You
yeah.
know, I have no judgment of those things. I think they're great for people. You know, why not feel better
Right,
in the prison?
right,
Doesn't really matter because no one's actually in prison because all of every person is already aliveness.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. This was great. Wow.
Yeah, it's been
I,
really great.
yeah, I really appreciate your time today, and it's
Thank
been
you.
fantastic. And
Again,
yeah, let's do it again. And
you can just, you know, shoot the breeze.
uh-huh. Talk about Star Trek.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Great.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
time. Great time. So enjoy the rest of your day or even actually it's a lot, it's what, I don't even know what, I haven't even watching the
Past
time.
8 in the evening, and the drums are going to start up
Ah,
soon. They'll be carrying a great big Jesus around the town.
yeah.
I might go out and see it actually. But
Yep.
to stop to stop the broadcast, you just have to press stop broadcast, and then I'll. But stay
Oh
online. I
yes.
just want to talk to you afterwards as well.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well,
Bye.
thank you, Tori. Take care. Bye,
Thank you.
people.